Big jumps, big rhythms, such a great track. Wish we still had that on the schedule. But hey, what's up, guys? Josh with the Vignette Podcast coming back at you. Last week we kind of took a small break, but we're back this week with episode 29. And I got some interesting stuff. I want to hear your guys' feedback on some things that I have on my list to talk about. And we got some rider updates. We got some updates from X Games. I know that was released about a month ago now. But anyways, still want to talk about it. Kind of interesting and seeing what their format's going to be moving forward. But starting off with fan favorite track this year. I want to know what your guys' your favorite track going into 2026 is going to be. I know it's different for everybody. Sometimes, or some people like the tight tracks like Deadwood, smaller tracks like ERX, and some people like bigger tracks like Duluth that we've had in the last couple years that have gone down the hills, up the hills. So what is your guys' favorite track for this year? The schedule hasn't changed. It's the same, starting off in Ironwood, going to Canterbury, Deadwood, Valcourt, New York, and Salamanca. Then heading back to the Midwest at ERX, Eagle River, and then Duluth. So what is your favorite track this year? Is it one of those? Or maybe, maybe it's a different track that you guys have seen from maybe the Midwest series or some other series. CSRA, we can throw their hat in the ring. They have been making some phenomenal tracks these past couple of years with the new ownership, and it seems like all the Canadians over there that race in the CSRA series have been really loving those tracks with the big airs, high speed. So which track do you guys like? Drop it in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Cause it's interesting to see the take on everybody's opinion on what tracks are the best. You know, like I said, some of the CSRA guys, they like that wide open, high air or long air time. I do too. I think we should bring back some more air time with the tracks over here in the ISOC series. It's been a little bit of lackluster last couple of years, but that has to do with the snow. You can't really make big air if you don't have snow. But going back, one track that I really enjoyed when it was on the circuit was not Eagle River. It's Soaring Eagle Casino in Michigan, and that was some big air. That was high intensity. The racing was very, very close, and everybody was bumper to bumper. Big jumps, big rhythms. Such a great track. Wish we still had that on the schedule, but my fan favorite going into this year would definitely have to be Valcourt. Valcourt is, big air, big rhythms, high speed, bar to bar racing. It's a really good track, and the Canadians over there, our friends over in Valcourt, they really make a great track. A couple years ago, when we were there for returning back over to Canada, they had a drop down start, and it was very interesting. It was very huge. It was big. And the last time that I saw a drop down start over in Canada was in 2020, I do believe. And I got invited to go over, and it was an exceptional track design. Drop down start made it the start straight was maybe 50 yards, maybe less than that, 30 yards. And it went right into a left-hand corner, and then it came back around towards the start straight. And it was a unique track, but big air, big rhythms. It was very, very cool. And they're always knocking it out of the park with the track design over in Valcourt. But again, a couple of years ago, when we were invited back, and having Valcourt part of the series, part of the points. Obviously, it's just a pro show, but it's really cool to still have it on the schedule. And they first started off with a drop down start, and then they got rid of it, and then they did just a regular start into the left hand corner, going towards the start finish line. And I talked to one of the officials in last season, and I was like, are you guys going to bring back the drop down start? And they were like, maybe there's a possibility. It was one of the guys with the SCMX series. And I think it'd be really, really cool to implement that again. Because when was the last time that we had a drop down? Oh, it was Deadwood a couple years ago. Yeah. 2024, I think. 2024. That season. But still, we should have the drop down start. It's very unique. It's very we don't see it at every track, and it was kind of a staple for Canterbury. So again, Valcourt is my favorite track for this year. That could change, but with the way that they lay out the track, it is so unique. It is very, very cool, very, very fast, very has big air. So yeah, Valcourt is mine. Drop in the comments below what you guys think. I want to hear what your favorite track is for this year, whether you're an athlete, spectator, ex-pro athlete, somebody that just watches the sport, or maybe you're in different disciplines of racing, snowmobiles, and you still watch. You're still a spectator to the sport. I want to hear your thoughts and comments. Drop it in the comments below. And what is your guys' rider that you're going to be paying attention to very closely for the 2026 season? There's a lot of rumblings with people watching Creighton Dillon. His first year in pro, the kid's super talented, and I think he's going to make a lot of waves. He's already made a lot of waves with the last couple years in pro light, battling back and forth with Anson Shield for the red plate. Creighton had some problems at Valcourt, but also Anson had some problems. So it was a tight battle, and I think it was coming down to 3 to 5 points at Duluth. I know it was a nail biter for sure, and even Drew Freeland was there in the mix as well in third place. Really, anything could happen to Creighton or Anson, and Freeland would have been right there. But which rider are you paying attention to going into the 2026 season? What rider's on your radar? I want to hear about it. Drop it in the comments below. Moving forward next, I guess I should say before I move on to the next topic, the rider that I'm going to be paying attention to very closely is... honestly, I don't even think I've thought about it up until this point. I'm going to go I'm not going to go with a pro or pro light rider. I'm going to kind of dive into the pro women's a little bit, and I'm going to go with Cicely Bernice. I'm going to say that she's going to be the most outstanding rider to me. She's going to be she's not going to be on my radar, but she's going to be one person that I'm going to be watching this 2026 season, and just seeing the progression that she has shown over the past couple of years. She did get a podium at Ironwood, and that was super exciting for her. There is going to be news dropping about her coming soon. They asked for us to do a press release on her, so super excited. And I look forward to seeing what she does in 2026. It sounds like that she is really putting the hammer down when it comes to fitness, getting herself dialed for the 2026 season. And, me and her are always talking. We talk to Heydays to see what her plans are. Nothing really has changed, but there is going to be a press release coming out. And, I'm going to be looking out for her and her performance in 2026. Next up is X Games. X Games is bringing back snowmobiles. I think I mentioned it in the previous the previous couple episodes, but they are coming back with freestyle, style, and speed. And I see a lot of people training, a lot of people that have been invited to the X Games, Brett Turcotte being one, and a whole bunch of other people. Brett Turcotte's me and him talk here and there, but I see his videos a lot. I'm an avid follower of his. So that's just one name that I'm going to throw out there, but there's a whole different array of people that are invited to the X Games, and it's super exciting because last time we saw X Games with snowmobiles, probably 2017, I think, or 2018. Peter Narsa was the last guy to dominate the X Games. He got the win over the whole field. I think he led the whole race. So from wire to wire, and his first X Games medal, gold medal, with Henches Racing, a previous team that is no longer in snowcross racing, but still, Peter Narsa was out there dominating, and I'm excited to see snowmobiles back at X Games. I think a lot of people are excited, and the one person that made it happen was Joe Duncan with the whole new management over there at X Games. I did a little bit of research. I can't remember the guy's name that owns it now, but the guy's an avid motorsports guy, and he really wants to shift back into what X Games was. And him and working with Joe Duncan is, it's awesome. So what's the future for snowmobiles in X Games? Hopefully in 2027, we see snowcross back at X Games. And a lot more with snowmobiles. Maybe they'll bring back the snow bike class, because that was, I think, the last kind of snowmobile category that was in X Games, and that was really exciting. They did snow bike freestyle, snow bike racing, and Jesse Kirschmeyer was one of the guys to win it, and his handlebars weren't heated. So it's kind of an ironic story. He had the gold medal secured, and then I think he went down and he never got his hands warmed back up. And everybody else was running antifreeze into the handlebars to keep them warm, because Aspen is very cold and riding a snow bike is cold, especially in the middle of winter. So it's kind of funny that was the only weak link in his program at X Games. But if they bring back snowcross racing or snow bike racing back in X Games, that would be huge. Same with the freestyle, huge. I know Brett Turcotte, Kobe Raha, a lot of guys that do the freestyle on the bikes did snow bike freestyle. So it was very cool to see everybody kind of shift over to the snow bikes, and it was a big thing. So moving on from the X Games, which I'm super excited about. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it this year unless something happens, but it is a conflict with snowcross unless something happens. But maybe next year I'll attend, or if something happens this year where something changes, I'll definitely try to be there because I've never been to X Games, and I've heard it's quite the trip. But moving forward from that, let's do some rider check-ins. First one, we have Brandon Nelson, an athlete that we saw last year almost get his first win at Valcourt. Kid was dominating, and he had a little Superman moment before the finish line. I think he had 2 laps to go before the finish, but he did a Superman, hit the finish line, and he darted off the track after the finish line. He couldn't get remounted on the sled, and from what I was told, that he flew off the track, broke his femur, and that was the end of it. Yeah, kind of a really devastating moment for Brandon and his family, or not his family, but his dad and everybody else, his supporters. His family, his team that he was on, a West Coast racing team, that would have been their first win with Brandon in Pro Light. They did get a handful of wins with Nick Lorenz when he was on the team the year prior, but that would have been Brandon's first win in Pro Light. But he has since moved on. He is now with Shearing Speed Sports, a premier team in the snowmobile racing industry, and let's see what he's got for the 2026 season. Signing with Shearings has been such an unreal feeling. I'm beyond grateful for the opportunity to work with such great people and some of the best in the sport. This partnership will definitely help take my racing to the next level. My goal remains the same, to be a title contender and to win. There is not a ton of pressure, but it does give me motivation to push myself to succeed. I have been in many high-pressure situations, but think of it as just another race where I go out and have fun while giving 110%. Brandon Nelson is just going to do that. He's going to give it his 110%. This is a huge opportunity for him. I did talk to him during the off-season, and I talked to his dad. Me and him are in contact quite a lot. And I knew that they were going to be over at Shearing Speed Sports. There was a few hints that I was given by Brandon's dad, but Brandon, he's going to send it, and he's going to do all he can to get on that box. Again, he showed quite the speed at Valcourt and during the rest of the season too, the previous 2025 season before his injury. And I'm sure Shearing was looking at him and watching him and scouting for his next rider for 2026. Because, with Anson moving up, that was kind of the calling card for Gustav. And unfortunately, Gustav has moved out of the Shearing camp, and he has signed with Skoquist to take Elias' spot. But with Anson moving up, it was a no-brainer that Brandon was going to get Anson's spot in Pro Light. So I look forward to Brandon really having a solid year in 2026, and he is super focused. When I see him at the track, his eyes are straight locked on putting on solid laps and making sure that he is prepped for the following weekend. With that being said, super excited for Brandon. Great opportunity with the team that he's on. Shearings is a solid team, and he wants nothing but to win. And Brandon's he's gonna be a hard man to beat out there on that Shearings Amsoil sled. And next up, we have Inanna Hauger. She has switched up her program this year, switching over to Skidoo with the Flex Toy race team. And this is going to be a big switch for her. Whole different platform, whole different race program, whole different sled, whole different way of riding the sled, I do believe, as well. People that jump onto the Skidoo from other brands like Arctic Cat and Polaris, they say that the Skidoo is such a rocket ship, and it turns phenomenally. The handling is great, and you can't say anything bad. They've won a lot of championships, and with Inanna jumping onto the Skidoo, it's a proven sled in the pro women's class with reigning champ Malene Coutu dominating. So for her to make the switch, it's a no-brainer. I think it's a really good switch. With her previously being on Polaris, it's going to be a change, maybe a must-need change, but we'll see what the season brings. But I think Inanna is going to adjust very quickly to that sled, as everybody else that has jumped on a Skidoo has. Powerhouse sled, again, very dominant and a workhorse. With that being said, I've always been a very motivated person my whole life. I've been working so hard this off season. This big change for me in 2026 has me more motivated and ready than ever to go out chase a championship. I'm beyond grateful to have been with Polaris my whole pro career until this point. I was alongside some amazing people and had great success. Making the switch to flex toy racing and Skidoo has been a great experience. Being alongside the most amazing team and people going into 2026. I have put so much work in. My team has put so much work in, and we will continue to do so. I just need to go out there and do my job and make it happen. I can't wait to get the season started. She said it. She's putting in a lot of work. Her team's putting in a lot of work, and she just needs to go out there and do her job, and she's going to do her job very well. And she's going to bring a great fan experience as well. She is one of the most liked people out on the race series, and if you have ever met Inanna Hauger, she is one of the nicest people, and yeah, I can't say anything but good about her, and I look forward to seeing her program in 2026 and really, really pushing everybody in the pro women's class, because she is one of the top riders in the pro women's class, really pushing Moline and everybody else in the class to raise that bar, if you will, to that next level. Yeah, raising that bar and just pushing the envelope, making everybody faster. So, Inanna, look forward to it and your 2026 success. Next up, we have Fred Parent, a SEMX racer that has come over to the States a few times. She's done, she's done Valcourt. She's done Duluth, and I think she's done Eagle River. I know that she's done Salamanca as well. But hopefully maybe this year she'll do a lot more. But we'll see. Her dad is the owner of SEMX, so we'll see what her season looks like. Off season been really solid so far. I took some time to rest right after the season, and then got right back into training, focusing more on strength and dialing in consistency. The goal's definitely to come in stronger and more prepared than ever to make a serious run at the SCMX championship. Yeah, that's pretty much the plan going for 2026. I'll be running the full SCMX series and mixing in a few ISOC national rounds where it makes sense with the schedule. I love the competition of both levels. It keeps me sharp. It gives me a chance to measure myself against some of the best. We'll see how things go, but I'm really excited for what's ahead this season. The plan is to race Ironwood, Valcourt, Salamanca, and Duluth. So she's going to be doing 4 ISOC Nationals and a full schedule of SCMX and duking it out with the rest of the pro women's field. Is, again, she's one of the silent assassins that she can make anything happen, and she can get on the box at any time. With her being putting in the time in the preseason, giving herself some rest after last season, I think a lot of people need that, especially with how much everybody rides, and racing a sled is very taxing on the body, and to be racing every single weekend with such a short season, 4.5 months of racing is a lot. But Fred, I can't wait to see what you can do at all these 4 ISOC Nationals, and we will definitely be keeping up on how your SCMX season is going and doing a lot of updates. So keep your eye on Fred Parent for the 2026 season and how she does. I'm sure she's going to try to find a way to go full ISOC at some point. Maybe not 2027, but maybe 2028. We'll see. We'll definitely keep an update on her. Yeah, I say it a whole lot, but pro women's class is the class to watch. Just like a couple years ago with Pro 30, that was the class to watch. So I hope you guys are keeping tune with the pro women's class, because we definitely are, and it's going to be stacked. It's going to be stacked. It's going to be good. I think there's going to be a lot of different people on the podium, a lot of different athletes on the podium. So outside of that, we got some really good, some really exciting news as well. We partnered up with Donks Designs graphics company in Michigan. They are going to be coming on board. They're going to be sponsoring the write-ups every single weekend that we put out at each national race. So Skylar over there at Donks Designs is super excited for this partnership. I'm super excited for this partnership, and it's only going to propel forward more and more as we progress. And he was like, you guys are doing such a good job with your content, and we want to be a part of that. So I was like, yeah, let's make something happen. And we did. We came up with a partnership, and he's going to be a part of all the write-ups. So if you do need graphics for your sled, dirt bike, maybe a vehicle wrap, trailer wrap, side by side, whatever you guys need, hit up Donks Designs. They do a phenomenal job, and he's always looking to have new projects come into his shop. So send him a message, send him what you want. It's all custom, and he will do whatever you need. So yeah, hit him up on Instagram, Facebook, Donks Designs LLC, and yeah, can't wait for the 2026 season to get rolling. We do have a few more announcements that we're working on right now, and can't wait for you guys to hear all about it. 2026 season is going to be huge for us. We're making such big movements, and I can't let much out of the bag, but it's going to be a huge shift for us moving forward. We got, again, a lot of gears going. So drop it in the comments below, guys. What is your favorite track for 2026? What track you most looking forward to? What rider is on your radar for the 2026 season? Whether it's the junior classes, Sport Light, Sport, Pro Light, Pro Women, Pro 30, whatever class. I want to hear all about it. Drop it in the comments below, and we will see you guys next week with a new episode. We're going to be checking in with a few different people that are in the industry that a lot of people don't really get to see or hear about, and some different takes on the pro classes. Yeah. Again, some interesting stuff, and I look forward to telling you guys and hearing your guys' opinion. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to the podcast. It means a lot. We really want to grow this. So if you're an avid follower, or if you're a new follower, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. Make sure you share every episode that we put out. It means a whole lot. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week, and can't wait. All right. Peace out, guys. Later.